Hey there, it's me once again, Robert Johnston, working on the Reverend comic. Something I have been working on for a very long time. So long that I can't even tell you when I began. Yes, it's been a long time. But I must have redone these pages several times, and each time I get better at what I'm doing. And that's the key to it all, folks. Mark yourself. Tell yourself you're going to do it and you're going to get better. And don't be afraid to try it. Don't be afraid to say, I'm going to look at that better artist out there. I'm going to see how they do it. And I'm not going to be disappointed in my own work, my own progress, my own current status. And that's how you do it. Because if you go into this thinking, I'm going to be true to myself, I'm going to be true to the situation, I'm going to be true to what I have to learn, be honest, and then you'll be able to move forward. Because if you don't even, like right now, I'm always in a constant state of, I know that I ain't shit. But I just know that I'm nothing special, and I'm just a regular dude who's trying to get things done, and I take action to get things done. I guess that's kind of what you got to do, right? Take action. It doesn't have to be. That's what sets you apart. I mean, honestly, that's what sets you apart from people who are stagnant in their art to people who have the opportunity to improve. You take action. And I think that's going to be the title of this video right here, is Taking Action. So, I know this kind of looks like last video, but, and this is another thing that I need to work on. Somebody once told me, writing. Well, actually, when you're working on comics, you're the writer, the director, and you're all the actors too. You know. So it's up to you to decide who. Well, now if you're thinking this is thinking in terms of a play, like a stage play, if you're the writer, the director, and the actor, it's up to you to determine how long and when each actor comes out onto the stage. You know, what their performance is going to be like, when to pull them out of there, when to switch scenes, when to really just make it all happen. And one thing I notice about myself is I have, and it just really shows, you know, that I'm still an amateur at this, really. But I'm okay with it. It just shows that, you know, I have repeating scenes and maybe some talking head scenarios going on where the panels kind of look the same. And in comics, yeah, that's okay. But this is a truth that we need to talk about, is that we have too much of that, I think. We need to figure out, and maybe the key is to angle the camera differently. You know, that might be, that is a solution, I think. So if you've got a lot of repeating looking panels like I have here, as you're seeing in the video, tilt the camera in another direction. Now, I'm not going to take my own advice right now. I'm just going to keep drawing and get it going, but be cognizant of your next move and say, well, this whole page looks like the last page. Let me not do that again, you know. And, you know, I've got it on here in the Reverend, I've got it on My Little Skull, and I'm sure there's a lot of that going on in the Grontal comic about a monster in the woods. is coming soon to a Zero Comics webpage near you. Hashtag Gruntle. Anyway, back to what I was talking about before I got sidetracked. I think that I'm going to experiment more with tilting cameras when I am coming across multiple looking scenes. Like, look at these panels here. They're all one camera direction. And now that I'm talking about it and looking at it, I'm thinking to myself, how did I not realize this sooner? So I could trace it back to actually, this is probably a good excuse right here, is that when you do things 100% digitally, like this comic I'm working on, you don't get the hindsight of setting them all out in front of you on the floor and looking at the flow of it all. So I would benefit from being able to see the flow of all my thumbnails. And this might be where you could either do all your thumbnails digitally and print them out and put them in front of you, or put little tiny ones all on the screen, all however many pages there are on the screen, so you can see them all and look at the flow in a linear direction so you can see. And then just pick out what's similar and say, okay, page 2 and page 10, they're the same layouts. Let's tilt the cameras. Maybe a little in both, just so you know you don't have a panel that looks exactly like another panel on another page. It's okay to maybe do that with a large gap of pages in between, but when it becomes repetitive, I think you're just cheating yourself. Really, you're now that I think about it, now that I look back on what my own work is showing me, you might just be cheating yourself. So I'm gonna take action. Not on this page, but I'm gonna try to put all my pages together, make that a important step in my process that I'm going to use to give myself a better flow of artwork page to page, so that I can identify these things before I try to spend too much time messing around on what's ultimately going to look like a mediocre product in my mind, because I'm my own judge and juror, I think. But like I always say, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with doing my art and progressing. I'm not happy with doing my art and staying and trying to do the same art that I did yesterday. So I think it would be important for one to write all these things down on a piece of paper in front of you, tape it up in front of your computer desk or near your monitor somewhere, so that you can always see and look at that list and say, okay, step 1, do the art. Step 1, do your thumbnails. And I like to do my entire thumbnail set. I don't like to do a few pages and then, thumbnails and then stop and then switch gears and do larger pencils. I like to do all my thumbnails in one sitting whilst I'm kicking my feet up on the living room couch and whatever else I'm doing, enjoying my coffee. Because you're in that mode, and when your hand starts sketching those thumbnails and you're in that mode and you fly through them, you'll find that you can fly through them, and then after that you feel accomplished. That's where you get your small win every day. You compartmentalize these pieces into, well, pieces. You do your thumbnails, and like I said, do that all in one sitting, and then stop, and then do something else. You know, like I like to do a bunch of things. You know, I like to do coloring, I like to do lettering, I like to do inking, I like to do penciling, I do writing, so I could switch gears onto any one of those other topics and push forward that way, which is good. And you know, I find having multiple projects to work on gives you multiple opportunities to pivot. You know, so if you're a do-it-yourself kind of guy, like I like to be, I like to do everything I can. You know, I do the art, I do the coloring, lettering, penciling. You know, I even do the formatting of the pages. If you do all that stuff for one comic and you end up having multiple comics to work on, you're doing those same tasks 3 or 4 times. You've got plenty of things to pivot from, plenty of things to keep you going, plenty of things to stop you from getting bored or getting hung up on. So I would just say, take some time, observe your process, take action, and get things done. You know? All right. See you later.